Hello. Welcome back to Talk to Me English. Today, I want to tell you a story, one that is not fiction, not theory, but truth. It's a story that still lives inside me, one that quietly shaped my heart and my habits in ways I never expected. This story is real. It is about something that changed my life completely, something that started small, but grew into everything I am now. My name is Tom. I am 78 years old. I have lived through laughter, regret, long nights, and quiet mornings that taught me patience. When I was young, I didn't care about anything. I thought time was endless, like a long road with no finish line in sight. I woke up late, wasting mornings that could have changed my life. I played games all day, smiling but not truly alive inside. I laughed a lot, but I learned nothing. My days were fun on the surface, but deep inside, they were hollow and empty. I didn't read books. I didn't work. I didn't think about my future. I just floated through days without meaning or direction. Every day was the same breakfast, same laziness, same jokes that meant nothing. I was breathing, but I wasn't really living. I was wasting time, but I didn't see it. Because when you're young, you think time waits. But time never waits for anyone. Then one weekend, something unexpected happened. My uncle came to visit. He was quiet, serious, and carried an air of calm wisdom. He sat down with me and looked into my eyes. His gaze was steady, like he could see the emptiness behind my laughter. I smiled, trying to hide my carelessness. But he didn't smile back. His silence felt heavy, and I didn't know what to say. He finally spoke. "Don't waste your time." Just that. Nothing more. No long advice, no big story, only 5 quiet words. Then he stood up and walked away. I watched him leave, confused but strangely shaken, unsure why those words hurt so deeply. I couldn't forget his words. They stayed in my head like a song that refuses to stop, echoing softly but constantly in my thoughts. For many days, I thought about his words. At first, I ignored them. I thought I had plenty of time, plenty of life ahead. But slowly, something inside me began to change. I looked at my life as if for the first time and saw how much I had lost. I saw hours disappearing like sand between my fingers. I asked myself, what am I doing with my life? But no answer came back. I felt sad, not a loud kind of sadness, but the quiet, heavy kind that sits deep in your chest and doesn't go away. I wanted to change. I wanted to use my time better. I didn't want to keep living like a shadow of what I could be. So I began with small steps. Nothing dramatic, nothing big. Just small actions that I could do every single day without excuses. I started waking up early. I read 1 page of a book every morning. I wrote down my thoughts, even if they didn't make sense. I watched videos about learning. I asked people for advice. I tried new things that scared me, even if I failed again and again. Some days were hard. I wanted to quit. My body felt tired. My mind said, go back to sleep. But my heart whispered, keep going. I remembered my uncle's words. They became like a small fire inside me, reminding me that time is precious and wasting it is death. Those words gave me power to keep going. They became my invisible guide whenever I felt weak, lost, or tempted to stop trying. Now I am older. I am not rich or famous, but I am proud. I have learned to use my time wisely and with love. I learn new things every day. I help others whenever I can. I find joy in small progress and peace in simple routines. All of this started with one short sentence. Don't waste your time. It wasn't just advice. It was a seed that grew into change. That sentence changed my life. And maybe it can change yours too. Because time doesn't ask permission before it leaves you behind. So listen to me. Don't wait. Don't be lazy. Don't wait for motivation to come. Start today, even if you don't feel ready. In the beginning, I didn't know how to change. I was still the same person inside, lazy, distracted, always promising to start tomorrow. But I remembered what my uncle said, so I made a plan. It wasn't perfect, but it was real, and that made it powerful. I wrote 3 things on a piece of paper: wake up early, read every day, and write 1 idea. That was my simple plan. I taped the paper on my wall where I could see it every morning. It became my silent reminder, my promise to myself. Waking up early was not easy. The first week felt like climbing a mountain made of sleep and excuses. Every morning was a battle. I wanted to stay in bed. The blanket was warm, the air was cold, and my mind whispered, just 5 more minutes. But I said no. I pushed the blanket away, opened the window, and let the cool morning air touch my face like a fresh start. The sky was quiet. The light was soft. I took a deep breath, and for the first time, morning felt like a gift, not a punishment. It felt clean. It felt new. It made me feel alive. My mind was clear. My thoughts were calm. The day felt full of promise. I started to like mornings. They gave me strength, energy, and a reason to move. I began to see why successful people love the dawn. Reading was also a big change for me. I never liked books before. I thought they were boring, slow, and useless for real life. But I started small. Just 1 page a day, then 2, then 5. Soon, I began to enjoy the quiet voice inside each story. I read about people who worked hard, who failed, and who tried again. Their stories gave me hope that I could change too. They showed me that small steps build great futures, that persistence is stronger than talent, that discipline creates miracles over time. I wanted that future, too. A life with meaning, purpose, and peace. A life I could be proud of when I look back someday. Writing, though, was the hardest part. I didn't know what to write or where to begin. My hand moved slow, my thoughts slower. My words were simple, sometimes clumsy. But I kept going. I wrote 1 small idea each day. Even if it was just a single word. Sometimes I wrote about my dreams, sometimes about my fears, sometimes just about how the sunlight fell through my window that morning. But I wrote, and that small habit helped me see myself more clearly. It helped me understand what I truly wanted from life. As the weeks passed, I felt proud. My life was still simple, but it wasn't empty anymore. Every day had a quiet sense of purpose. I was moving forward. My days were not wasted. I was learning, growing, and discovering the person I was meant to become. I didn't feel lost anymore. I had a goal, a plan, and a reason to wake up every day with gratitude instead of regret. All this came from 1 moment, 1 visit, and 1 sentence from my uncle. Don't waste your time. It became my silent teacher. I started to talk less and listen more. It was a small change, but it quietly transformed the way I saw the world around me. Before, I always wanted to speak. I wanted people to hear me, to agree with me, to think that I was interesting and smart. But now, I listened. I listened to people with experience, people who didn't speak loudly, but carried quiet wisdom in their words and eyes. I listened to people with ideas, people who had failed, learned, and tried again. Their stories had more value than my endless small talk ever did. I watched how they lived, how they worked with patience, how they respected time, and how they didn't waste a single moment of their day. I saw how they worked hard without showing off. I learned from their rhythm, from the calm way they built something meaningful every day. I realized that smart people don't waste time. They treat time like gold, something rare, beautiful, and impossible to replace once lost. Every minute is important to them. Every hour is a chance to grow. They use time like artists use color, to paint the life they dream of. I also stopped doing things that gave me nothing. I cut out the noise that filled my days, but left my heart completely empty. I watched less TV. I used my phone less. I stopped scrolling aimlessly. searching for nothing, losing minutes I would never get back. I stayed away from people who only talked but never worked. They laughed all day, but their laughter felt shallow, built on distraction, not growth. I didn't want to be like them anymore. I wanted to grow, to move, to create something that meant something. So I made a new rule. If something is not useful, I will not do it. That simple rule became my compass, my filter, the quiet guard of my time. It helped me stay focused when life tried to pull me in every direction. It kept me steady when others drifted without purpose or plan. Soon, I began to see small changes. My reading became deeper. My writing became stronger. My mind felt clearer. My thoughts more alive. My ideas were no longer just dreams. They were steps, plans, and real progress. I started to understand myself in ways I never had before. I knew what I wanted. I didn't feel lazy anymore. The heaviness that once lived in me began to fade away, replaced by quiet strength. I felt strong. Not the kind of strength that shows on the outside, but the kind that grows quietly inside, like light through the cracks. My time had meaning. I used to waste hours, letting them disappear into nothing. Now, I used every hour for something good, something that mattered. That feeling was new to me, and I liked it very much. It gave me pride, peace, and the kind of confidence that comes only from discipline. One day, my uncle came to visit again. He walked in slowly, his steps soft, his face calm, his presence just as powerful as before. He looked at me and smiled. That smile said everything. He didn't need to ask questions. He saw the change before I spoke a word. I told him what I was doing. I showed him my notebook full of thoughts, goals, and quiet victories that once felt impossible. He nodded and said, "Good." That one word was enough. It carried more meaning than 1,000 compliments could ever give me. That one short sentence made me happy. It confirmed what I already felt deep inside, that I was finally walking in the right direction. His short sentence helped me find a better life. It wasn't magic. It wasn't luck. It was choice, discipline, and respect for time. So I say this to you now. You don't need to do big things. You don't need to move fast or chase perfection every day. You just need to move. Start small. Start now. Even one small step done with intention can open a door to something greater. Listen to the right people. Make good habits. Use your time for the learning, not for wasting. Let your hours build you, not bury you. If you do that, your life will start to change, too. Slowly, quietly, but powerfully. Just like mine did all those years ago. Some days were still hard. Some mornings, I woke up feeling weak, tired, and unsure. I didn't want to read, write, or move at all. I felt bored. I felt slow, but I told myself, keep going. Because stopping, even for one day, felt like breaking a promise to my soul. I remembered my uncle's voice. It wasn't loud, but it was firm. I said the words again in my mind like a sacred prayer. Don't waste your time. Those 4 words became my guide, my compass, my invisible teacher through every season of my life. They helped me stand up when I wanted to quit. They helped me try again when I failed. They kept me grounded when I succeeded. I made a list of dreams, not wild ones, but simple, human ones, things that gave me direction and reminded me why I was alive. I wrote down 5 things I wanted to do. I wanted to finish a book. I wanted to learn a new skill. I wanted to grow. I wanted to help someone. I wanted to feel proud of my work. Each dream was small, but together, they formed the map of my purpose. I looked at that list every day. I placed it where I could see it when I woke up, like a light reminding me of my path. It gave me direction. It gave me energy. It gave me a reason to wake up early and use my time like it truly mattered. I also started to help other people. I noticed how many were just like me before, lost, distracted, and quietly wasting the most precious thing they had. So I talked to them. I shared my story. I told them about my uncle, the man who changed my life with one quiet sentence. I said the same words to them. Don't waste your time. Some listened. Some laughed. Some nodded politely and forgot. But I kept sharing. I knew that even one sentence could open a door in someone's mind. Just like it did for me all those years ago. With time, though, I felt more confident. I started doing new things. I joined a class. I learned from teachers who were passionate about life. I met people who wanted to grow. Not complain, they helped me learn faster. They shared their energy, and I gave mine in return. We studied together. We talked about our goals, our mistakes, and our hopes. It felt good to be surrounded by people who wanted more from life. Being around the right people helped me a lot. It reminded me that growth is contagious. You just need to stand near the right kind of fire. I didn't feel alone anymore. I felt like I was part of something bigger. A quiet community built on discipline, kindness, and shared purpose. Looking back now, I feel thankful. Thankful for my uncle. Thankful for his words. Thankful that I chose to listen instead of ignore. Life is not always easy. But when we use time well, life becomes better, richer, and more meaningful than we ever imagined it could be. We become stronger, we become wiser, and we begin to feel more alive, more grounded in the simple beauty of ordinary days. That is what I want you to feel too. Because the real joy in life comes not from speed, but from progress that matters. I want you to know something important. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the best. You just have to try. Trying is enough. Effort itself is powerful. Every time you choose action over delay, you move one step closer to becoming who you're meant to be. Many people wait for the perfect time. But the truth is, the perfect time never comes. The best time is always now. This very moment. Even if you are not ready, start now. Take one small step. The smallest motion can create a wave of transformation inside your life. I was not smart when I started. I was not strong. I didn't have talent or wealth. But I had something more powerful: time and choice. Time is free, but it's the most valuable thing you will ever own. You can't buy it. You can't borrow it. You can only use it. You can lose money and earn it again, but once time is gone, it never returns. That's why I protect it like something sacred now. I don't let people or things waste it anymore, because every minute I lose is a piece of my life I can never take back. I also learned to enjoy simple things. I didn't need to travel far or chase luxury to feel alive. Simplicity became my peace. I didn't need to buy expensive things to prove my worth. I found quiet happiness in learning, in small progress, in mindful living. I found joy in learning something new, even if it was small. I felt proud after finishing one page, one paragraph, one good thought. I felt happy after reading one beautiful line that stayed with me all day. I smiled after writing one clear sentence that came from my heart. I felt proud when I helped a friend, even with something small. Those simple things gave my life warmth, meaning, and direction again. These small things gave me peace. They reminded me that fulfillment doesn't come from speed, but from presence. From doing small things with big love, they helped me stay on the right path. They reminded me that the quiet road is often the one that leads you home. But not everyone understood. Some people laughed at my changes. They said I was too serious, too disciplined, too old to dream again. But I didn't listen. I knew what I was doing. I knew where I was going. I didn't want their noise inside my head. I didn't want their life, the kind filled with distraction, comfort, and regret. I wanted something better, something pure and alive inside. I wanted to grow. So I stayed quiet and kept working. I let my progress speak louder than any words or opinions ever could. My time was too important for useless talk. I protected it like a flame that must not be touched by careless hands or empty noise. Now, I want to ask you something. A question that changed my life the moment I asked it honestly for the first time. What are you doing with your time? Not in theory, not someday, right now. In this season of your life. How are you using it? Are you building something meaningful? Are you learning something new? Are you growing in silence while the world keeps rushing around you? Or are you wasting your days? Lost in distraction, letting precious hours fade away while you promise yourself you'll start tomorrow. Be honest with yourself. Because your answer, your real, quiet, unspoken answer, can reveal exactly what your future will look like. If you don't like your answer, then change it. No one else will do it for you. Change always begins inside, with one small choice. You can start today, just like I did. You don't need to know everything. You just need to begin. Time will teach the rest. If you are still here listening to this story, I want to thank you. It means you care. It means you are awake. It means you want to learn. You want to grow. That is already a beautiful beginning. You're already ahead of the person who does nothing. Many people never try. They talk, complain, plan, but never start. They waste years making excuses instead of progress. But you're different. You stayed. You listened. And maybe, just maybe, you are ready to change your life too. In quiet but powerful ways that only time will reveal. You don't need to be fast. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be great on the first day. Just begin. Set one small goal. Wake up early. Read one page. Write one idea. Help one person. That is enough to start a new chapter. Repeat it every day. Don't stop. Don't rush. Let small actions become a rhythm that carries you through even your hardest seasons. Some days will be easy, some will be hard. But every small step, no matter how quiet, moves you forward. That's how real change begins. Sometimes you will feel tired, sometimes slow. That's okay. Rest if you must. But don't quit. Even resting is part of the journey. Take a deep breath. Look at how far you've come, not how far you have left to go. Progress is still progress, no matter the speed. Think about your dreams. Think about your future. Then stand up again. Do one small thing. Even if it feels too small to matter, that one thing is enough. Because with time, all those small, faithful actions will grow into something strong, beautiful, and undeniable over time. All those small things become big progress. You'll look back one day and realize that the quiet, simple days built your greatest strength. You will be proud of yourself, not for being perfect, but for being persistent, for not wasting what you were given so freely. Time, I still remember my uncle's voice. It was calm but strong, quiet but unforgettable. The kind of voice that lives in your memory forever. Don't waste your time, he said. I didn't understand it then, but now I do. His words were not just advice, they were a mirror. They showed me who I could become. They showed me the value of every sunrise, every moment, every chance to start again with gratitude. His words were a gift, a short sentence, but full of power. It was like a seed planted deep inside me that never stopped growing. It changed me. It gave me a new life, a life of purpose, awareness, and peace that I never knew I could have. I hope it can help you too, because wisdom isn't meant to be kept. It's meant to be shared, passed down, like light from one candle to another. Maybe my voice can be your reminder now, just like my uncle's voice was mine. Maybe these words can plant a seed in your heart. So this is my last message to you. Use your time well. Protect it like treasure. Treat it as the most sacred thing you own. Time is your best friend. It's also your biggest test. How you spend it shapes the person you become, the story you leave behind. Don't throw it away. Don't give it to things that make you empty. Use it to learn, to grow, to love, and to become better. One day, you will look back and smile. You will see how far you've come and whisper, I did not waste my time. You will thank yourself for starting. You will thank the person you once were, the one who decided to change, even when it felt impossible. And maybe, just maybe, you will share your story too, with someone who needs it, someone who is still lost and waiting for a sign, because sometimes one story, one voice, or one sentence can awaken another heart, just like my uncle's words once awakened mine. So, take this moment. Let it sink in. Time is your story. Make it one worth remembering. Don't waste it. Live it fully, deeply, wisely.